That's me.
Alex Schildt is the president of ClearanceJobs.com and our fearless leader. He is here to talk about ClearanceJobs Next Generation. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Lindy. All right, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, thank you. This is my favorite time of year when we get to come out to connect. And I want to give a huge shout out to our team first. This is the 5th annual ClearanceJobs Connect, and we finally got the big ballroom. So I want to give, yeah, thank you. This is personally my 3rd Connect, and it is, it's awesome to see everybody here. And we had our customer advisory board meeting yesterday, which was amazing to get to see those folks that are helping us make decisions on how we move forward as an organization. Before I dive in today on CJ NextGen, I want to give a huge shout out to the team that put this together. And I'm not going to be able to name everyone because just so you know, there are about 35 or 40 ClearanceJobs people here with secret squirrel t-shirts on that put this together and make it happen. But 2 in the back, Lindy Kaiser, obviously, this is her brainchild, and just amazing job, Lindy. Thank you so much. Jill Hamilton, who's also back there with Lindy. I mean, it doesn't get done without you. Thank you so much, Jill. And then, of course, Phoebe Wells, who does pretty much everything and then gives me a pep talk every time I have to speak. Thank you, Phoebe. I appreciate that. And then Amanda Hawk, who does all the graphics. And finally, Katie Helbling, who couldn't be here today. And Lindy already shared with you, she had a beautiful baby boy a few days ago. So thank you to the ClearanceJobs team for putting this together. Thank you, guys. Today, we're going to really talk about the next generation of ClearanceJobs. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about how the market has changed. And this year's really been like no other year, as many of you obviously know since you're in this business. You know, I've been with ClearanceJobs for 5 years. My dad worked for a government contractor, a major enterprise government contractor for a long time growing up. And I've never personally seen anything like this. And recruiting cleared professionals has always been really a challenge, but 2025 has added a lot of new complexity. You've had government freezes, you've had cuts, you've had layoffs, you've had rapid acceleration of AI. And I know that's been a big topic today, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. And recruitment staff have also been impacted. We've seen. How many of you have had layoffs of recruitment staff? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about that and how that's changed what's happening. Yet mission demand continues to rise. The threat that we see from governments like China and Russia and North Korea continues to exist. And of course, ClearanceJobs as the voice of the cleared community has to evolve to meet this moment. And one of the things we did at the beginning of the year is we laid down a theme called Expand the Mission. And you'll kind of see, whenever you see ClearanceJobs, our logo, it says Expand the Mission underneath that. And I'll be talking about what that really means moving forward. But first, let's go into a little bit more about what we're seeing in cleared recruiting today. And everybody should have received one of these. Does everyone have a physical copy of the Cleared Recruiting Guide? Thank you to Jill Hamilton and Amanda for putting this out a few weeks ago. This is a beautiful resource that can also be downloaded on about.clearancejobs.com. I'll give you a pro tip. Download that thing, drop it into ChatGPT, and start asking it questions, and it's going to give you a lot of really, really valuable information. This survey was conducted by about 150 or more cleared recruiters on the front lines. So like many of you, in fact, many of you may have participated in this survey, and it's going to provide benchmarks, data, and best practices. Every chart that you're going to see over the next couple slides comes directly out of this, and it's really a core resource for GovCon recruiters in 2025. So Recruiting pain points, the number one that isn't listed on here, but is always the biggest issue at 56% is the limited talent pool that you're seeing in cleared recruiting. That's interestingly changed a little bit this year. Obviously, we've had an influx of talent after layoffs and some of these folks coming in, but it still remains a challenge, especially with those most sensitive clearances. Remote competition is second at over a quarter of the pain that we're feeling in cleared recruiting is around remote competition. And that's not coming directly from maybe other GovCon. That's coming from commercial enterprise coming out and taking these folks out of work. And of course, we've seen a lot of this since 2020. Candidate engagement continues to be a major problem, and that is getting candidates to respond to you. How many of you have this issue? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, a lot. High clearance and polygraph requirements continue to also remain pretty significant challenges. So this isn't going to be news to you, but clearance level obviously remains a challenge, right? We see the more sensitive clearances requiring more difficulty in recruiting. But what I find interesting here is we did see improvement in 2025 in all areas, if you notice. And I think that's movement of government workers, cleared government workers into GovCon. Obviously that plays a role, but we're also starting to see significant gains in efficiency through artificial intelligence. And we'll talk about that. From a workload v. hires, most recruiters, 73% of the recruiters surveyed said that they are filling less than 5 roles a month, but have more than 10 recs a month. How many of you feel that? Yeah, okay. So while it's a little easier to recruit this year, we're seeing less recruiters do the work. And this obviously creates stress, it creates burnout, and we then start looking at team structure and efficiency. So we ask this question of, is the team structure effective at managing burnout? And 62% of the recruiters surveyed said it is, but this is down 12 points from last year. 40% reported multiple team members contacting the same candidate. So we're starting to get some inefficiency in the process here. You start getting more work put on you. Structure starts degrading a little bit, and you start contacting the same candidates, which leads to a poor candidate experience. So we're seeing leaner teams with more saturation into that candidate pool. And more than a quarter still report team silos, leading to poor communication and slower hiring. Finally, nearly half of those report having to use an external service like a headhunter or an external sourcer, contract sourcer, especially those that fill the tougher roles, those more sensitive clearances. So how are you and your teams responding? Let's take a look at that. AI has really changed the game. What we've seen this year is AI adoption went up nearly 20 points from our cleared recruiting guide and survey last year at around 40% to this year at 60%. 82% of the recruiters that are using AI are using generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Bard, Jasper. Over a third are using resume screening software and interview scheduling tools. Just to take a quick survey of the room, how many of you in this room are using AI on a daily basis? Unbelievable. So this survey we conducted a few months ago, I would bet we're probably closer to 75% are now using an AI tool in some form or fashion. So AI is not optional anymore. It's becoming a necessity in everything that we're doing. So let's look at how the process and automation of how recruiters are using it. The majority of recruiters say they have automated less than a quarter of their processes. Any of you fall into this, you're using AI for about a quarter of what you do. Okay? All right. They primarily stick to basic tasks too. This is what, so maybe what is it, for example, what are you using AI for?
So a lot of what I recruit for is like high-level polys, things like that.
Yep.
AI is not going to do a whole heap of good.
Yeah.
But I will use it for LinkedIn posts, things like that. And then, just the generative AI tools that exist on like resume screening.
Okay.
Like copy and paste them.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear him, he said he's using it to do LinkedIn posts and some other basic tasks, which is what we're seeing that leading edge there doing, as well as you had mentioned, what else was it? Job description, stuff like that, right. So that's the majority, I think. Who else falls into that category here? Okay, all right. A third have pushed further, automating up to half of the tasks that they're doing every day. And nearly a quarter of all recruiters surveyed say they now automate more than half their tasks, with 7% using AI in over 75% of the work they're doing. So this is really, I mean, when we look at this from compared to last year, it's amazing. And I don't know about you, but well, clearly you the way you responded earlier, I'm using AI almost every day. Without question, I'm using AI to do the majority of the tasks that I would do. I used AI to generate this outline based on my thoughts of what the direction I wanted to go with the presentation. And it was able to do it. And then, of course, you're guiding. So for those of you who are maybe still on the fence, it's here. And for ClearanceJobs, we need to figure out then, how do we put that into your process? How does that drive our vision forward? So what do recruiters want from AI? This is really important information for us to know as we build our vision out for what the future and next generation of ClearanceJobs looks like. The most desired AI feature is automated candidate screening. Would everyone agree with that? If you had the ability to do that, would you do it? Please raise your hand. Yeah, okay. We heard this also from our advisory board yesterday. Next, very closely, is providing knockout questions, which is critical for sifting through high volumes of candidates. Resume parsing, scheduling, and automated responses all keep things moving very quickly, and also keep candidates in the loop, because that's such an important component to recruiting, as you all know, is making sure you're following through. If they're not ready for that job today, maybe they are ready for that job tomorrow. I've got to keep them engaged. The bottom line is we are seeing big gains in recruitment. Half of the recruiters told us overall efficiency and candidate communication have improved because of AI. And over a third are seeing increased efficiency in the ability to screen candidates. I can't wait till we do this survey next year and what it looks like. So when we talk about the future of ClearanceJobs, the data that we just discussed is really going to help us guide our vision for what ClearanceJobs looks like in the future. So let's go ahead and dive in to ClearanceJobs. And we have really, for how many of you have been on ClearanceJobs for at least 20 years? Raise your hand. Awesome. All right, great. How many 15 years? Okay. Actually, keep your hands raised. 20 years? 15? 10? 5? And who's under 5? The rest of you? Yeah, okay. So a lot of you have been using ClearanceJobs for a really long time. Thank you for your business, by the way. You know how CJ started. ClearanceJobs started as a response to 9/11 in 2022. We knew that there was going to be a need for cleared workers and that the government would be outsourcing a lot of this work. Looking forward, our strategy is built on two main pillars. The first is going to be technology and innovation. Leveraging AI and other emerging tech to make matching talent and opportunities faster, smarter, and more secure. We're going to continue to evolve our candidate experience, our candidate intelligence, our recruiter tools, and a big area we're going to start looking at is data services, providing you better data, more data, and a better way to get that data. Our second pillar really revolves around community engagement. ClearanceJobs will be more than just a career marketplace. It will be the professional home for cleared talent throughout their careers, with content, community, and career tools that keep them engaged, informed, and connected. What we talk about is that we are moving to an ecosystem. And as you can see, we've already begun just this year to expand beyond the core ClearanceJobs marketplace. This includes testing new solutions like contract and perm staffing. That's not something that ClearanceJobs had traditionally offered in the past. It's also building out additional properties and brands like NatSec at Work, our newest e-magazine. This is not just a magazine, it is our first step into the community as we move forward to not just focus on the cleared worker when they're looking for a job, but to focus on building community across the cleared worker's entire career. We also launched a site called fedwork.net to engage our community outside of just their next job search. And we're carefully using acquisitions to bring in solutions like AgileATS to strengthen our offering across the entire cleared hiring lifecycle. So our goal is really seamless, cleared recruiting environment with highly engaged candidates. And you're going to see integrated AI laying on top of all of that. So let's talk a little bit about AI and emerging tech focus. Something that flew a little under the radar this year with all of the other noise is the federal strategy on DoD AI adoption. Has anyone read that? Nobody. Yeah. This is, Tommy, you have, right? Yeah. This is already requiring contractors to show AI workforce capacity. While the government hasn't directly said you need X amount of AI staff, policy direction and acquisition trends clearly will favor contractors who can prove AI workforce capability. So ClearanceJobs then has to adapt to this. And we are really building out the first GovCon AI skills taxonomy so that recruiters can instantly find cleared professionals with AI, machine learning, quantum, or autonomy experience. We'll also be launching what we call AI career pathways, a training and upskilling of cleared professionals for the future. This is how ClearanceJobs will expand cleared candidates and cleared pipelines into tomorrow's AI-ready workforce. The next thing that's new this year that we just acquired in ATS we're very excited about. AgileATS is the proof point of our ecosystem strategy. It was acquired this summer as part of our strategy to strengthen the ecosystem. It is built specifically for government contracting by a former GovCon cleared recruiter who happens to now be the CEO of Crimson Phoenix. And Ross O'Rourke will be speaking during ClearanceJobs Connect on Agile, AgileATS, and the Agile recruiting process. AgileATS also has a focus on compliance and speed to meet the specific needs of cleared recruitment. So what does it deliver? It delivers AI smart matching. It delivers resume parsing. It delivers automated candidate emails, interview details, and offers. And it offers advanced AI search and filters so that you can go in and find passive and active talent quicker. It also provides analytics for speed with a heavy emphasis on compliance and recruiter performance. So this is really a tool when we look at not just being at the top of the funnel for cleared recruiting, but providing a tool that can take your candidate from birth to grave, from source to hired, and it's all integrated soon with ClearanceJobs. For small businesses and those smaller mid-markets, this can replace the spreadsheet that you may be using. For larger subs and primes, it can supplement your existing enterprise HRIS, and we have use cases for both. So if this is something you're interested in or you're excited about, please contact your ClearanceJobs rep and they can talk to you about the use cases that other businesses like you may be using to use AgileATS to support. Next, what you're going to see very soon from ClearanceJobs, very soon, is what's called premium candidate experience. We've invested in building a differentiated experience for cleared professionals. Features like skills assessments, rank insights, and job boostings will be rolling out very soon with a full premium candidate experience launch in early 2026. What this does is it's going to provide candidates more visibility and empowerment. These rank insights, where do they rank? Where are their skill gaps? What can they do to get that job with your company? It's going to give them the ability to boost their profile and let you know that they are interested in working now. And it's really going to provide you as a recruitment team stronger engagement and faster conversions. And ultimately, this helps ClearanceJobs move recruiting from more transactions to more relationships.
Sooner, because I'm fucking taking too long. I'll just tell you.
So moving forward, you can really count on us. ClearanceJobs is the largest cleared talent platform we have been since 2002. We are the only integrated GovCon ATS to embed compliance at every step. And we are building an AI-ready workforce so that you have the ability to access that talent as quickly as possible. So what does this mean for you? For recruiters, this ecosystem is going to deliver 4 things. It's going to deliver speed to hire, faster workflows that will compress timelines, better pipelines, sourced with quality candidates and AI tools to quickly identify the talent you need, stronger engagement, tools focused on the candidate to increase responsiveness and conversions, as well as brands and tools to support the candidate throughout their entire career, to keep them engaged, to provide you vehicles and opportunities to deliver branding and connection to that candidate through their entire career. And finally, contract differentiation, an audit-ready compliance and AI talent tool with pipelines to help your business win contracts. Together, that means faster hires, stronger pipelines, and a competitive edge. I'd like to really thank you all for your time. Thank you for your business. This is a really exciting moment for us as we continue to move forward in this somewhat interesting time, but also an exciting time. ClearanceJobs has been with you, many of you, for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. And if you're new to us, all I can say is get ready, because we're going to be delivering you an outstanding experience moving forward. Thank you, and together we secure the mission. Thank you very much. And I'm happy to take questions, I think, if anyone has any about ClearanceJobs. All right, I answered all of them. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lindy.